I'm Rose Red. Welcome to another Rose Red Tarot video. Today's video is about constellations. It's been brought to my attention in my dreams that certain constellations are relevant right now. And I'm not talking about zodiac constellations. So I decided to look into which non-zodiac constellation was closest to each zodiac constellation, and I'm going to do a tarot reading based on that. Some constellations are closest to 2 signs, so some signs will share a constellation. You can watch your sun, moon, or rising, and the readings will have guidance for you based on your sign and its associated adjacent constellation. We will now do the readings for the signs in order. This book is the Golden Book of Astronomy, A Child's Introduction to the Wonders of Space. It is my uncle's from when he was a kid, and it is from 1959. Starting with Aries and its nearest constellation, Triangulum, which means triangle. Triangles and the number 3 have a lot of symbolism. 3 makes a whole of the beginning, middle, and end, as well as symbolizing the light and the darkness and the time that connects the two. So these fell out for Aries and Triangulum. Forced to do what feels right. Forced to do what feels right. Inspired to do what feels right. I think Aries is very in tune with how they feel. They're not necessarily good at describing it or at analyzing it, but it should be pretty easy for Aries to know what feels right. It's encouraging you to go by feeling more so than practicality right now. And also what is right for you emotionally at this time. Such as being a little more emotional than normal. And getting inspired by that. Kind of committing to that approach to life versus trying to squeeze it out and make more sense. Just let your emotions guide you, feel it out, wait on things to see how they feel, and then take action based on what feels right. For both Taurus and Gemini, you share a closest constellation, and that is Orion. The Hunter. Orion was an arrogant hunter who was punished by the gods for his arrogance and pride, and is being pursued by the Scorpion in the constellations to be punished for his pride. not sure why that was such a crappy shuffle, but I'm just gonna take it. I'm already getting a sense of something. We'll see if the cards confirm it. Taurus and Gemini shared reading today. Perfect for Gemini. So, talking about how you feel, like things you deeply care about with the wrong person, can feel really bad because they aren't going to care. They're not going to empathize or show interest or emotionally validate you. It's telling you to choose your audience more carefully, which can be hard if you're an introvert, because you might not have a very broad audience on a regular basis, and you might really feel like talking about what you're experiencing. But unfortunately, you're going to have to be selective anyway, and maybe I'm getting the sense, share it with a virtual audience, or share it with, like, in a different form, in art or in song or in a podcast or a voice note if your friend's not available right now. That is better than to just be impatient and share it with the wrong person. You're gonna feel, invalidated, and like you wasted your breath, you're wasting your amazing experiences, you're wasting emotional vulnerability. I'm getting hoarse, so it's like wasting your breath, getting hoarse, and then not having the same energy to tell the right person later. So it might make you end up keeping the stories to yourself indefinitely because you tried to share it and it was denied or mocked or dismissed, and now you just lost your enthusiasm to share. And I think with this profound, I'm getting the word enlightenment, these enlightening experiences or emotional processes that you're going through, that's very unhealthy, because how someone reacts to it does not determine its value or its significance or its poignancy. So you just have to be careful. I really feel this. I have a Taurus moon and Gemini rising, and I really feel this, and I also feel how hard it is as an introvert to hold these stories and wait for the right time when there's people around who are the right people. It almost leads you to write a book or to post a blog, like do solo things you can do to express it anyway. That's what I suggest. Well, that's what tarot suggests. All right. And our next sign is Cancer, and its nearest constellation is Canis Minor, lesser dog or smaller dog. Is seen as one of Orion's hunting dogs. So Orion, the hunter for Taurus and Gemini, and then one of his dogs for Cancer. So the relevance of dogs right now, we'll see if that comes into play. Cancer and Canis Minor. both coming out. I've had so much grief with cancers in my life. I really don't even know why that would be. It's not going to affect this reading though. I'm very unbiased with these readings. I'm going to keep these, actually. Let's make sure they're on screen. So, yes, we have end of a phase of life, end of a major phase. It could be literally something ended or someone passed away and now it's a completely new world for you. Or it could be, and this might not be new. This might have ended 3 to 4 years ago, is what I'm getting. Or they could have died 3 or 4 years ago. And so repeatedly working on where you belong now. Repeatedly working on where you belong now after this ending. Who are you now? Where do you want to be now? What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? So you've been putting a lot of effort into this or repeatedly thinking about it. Doesn't have to be physical effort. And I kept these because they elaborate on this process for you. It's feeling trapped in a persona of authority or having it together or being under control, having this under control, being trapped in that role of the person that has it together, the person that can, I'm getting the word manipulate their reality or others to make them feel the way that you need to feel successful or feel like you have an effect. And that no longer feels good. This belonging doesn't feel like this anymore. You might be feeling less and less inclined to be dominant or to have that much of a or maybe because of this you feel like you thought you had it under control, but you don't. Trapped in a facade or a concept of control over your life that doesn't exist. So very deep stuff, almost spiritual stuff for you now about, I honestly am getting the feeling of like what, not permanently, but maybe passing thought of like, what's the point of working towards a lot of things that I thought I wanted or that mattered to me if I have no control over the outcome anyway. It's almost like saying, like losing someone and being heartbroken or totally in mourning over someone that passed and thinking, what was the point of that whole thing? Like, what's the point in falling in love if like this can happen? And now I'm devastated, you know? It's more so than negative thinking. I'm getting a real sense of like depression and feeling trapped, like not knowing how to move and obsessing. Both of these cards I'm getting obsessing, running over and over in your mind and feeling trapped in those obsessive thoughts about this, about like, what move can I make towards a happy future, towards feeling like I belong in the world? What move can I make if, I hate to say this, but thinking feelings of pointlessness, if everything just ends, or just feeling really dark. I'm gonna have to pull more cards because I'm not gonna leave you with that. For Cancer, Any advice for these feelings? How to manage these feelings or lighten the load? Don't be afraid of choosing what your heart desires. I think their advice is about the path out of this is following your desire, not necessarily sexual desire, but no matter how depressed or lost you feel, there's still something you desire, and that is still valuable and can guide you through this. It could be super small. It could be like every day I just want to be in nature. I guess that's not that small, but you know, it doesn't have to be like I want to be married and I want to live in a bigger house and I want to, like, it doesn't have to be these major things. It can be as simple as on the weekend I'm going to leave town and I'm going to be in the forest all day. And I'm going to do that until I don't want to do it anymore. Don't be afraid of going after what your heart desires. Just sit with yourself and feel they could be the final remaining desires that still exist. That will give you freedom from this cycle of obsessive thoughts about futility. Leo's closest constellation is Leo Minor. Small lion. Let me bring Leo up here. Okay. Leo and Leo Minor, the big cat and the smaller cat, or the younger cat. Ooh, how many should I take? I'm just going to take the top one there. Any more for Leo and Leo Minor? Ooh, an independent plane is flying over. Like a two-person plane. They're flying away from the local little airport in the direction of Toronto. Okay, so passionate but fearful about looking foolish. Okay. Kind of straightforward, blunt advice for the Leos here. How can they break through this fear of reputation, fear of looking foolish right now? Any further advice for the Leo? Oh. Okay. Yes. Is this too far down? A little bit. The advice for being fearful, looking foolish, to pursue what you're currently passionate about or what you currently want, what you currently desire, is to be honest about how you feel, either with people from your past, with your children, with your old friends that you grew up with, or about who you once were and have always been, or the essence of your personality. I am getting a message in here about coming out, and that you've always been, this is very specific, I'm going to quickly spit it out for the few people this is for, that you've always been gay, or you've always been trans, or you've always been bi, and maybe it's been a secret since you were younger, or you've kept it a secret from your older friends, or your children, or your friends from your childhood. And the only way out of this is to just be honest about these feelings with these people. You know, 9 of Wands is about being haunted or traumatized by something that went badly before. So maybe you have tried to tell certain people before and it did not go well, and you just don't want to experience that again. But as you can see, this person is just has their guard up now, and you don't want to live like that, right? You want to feel good and you want to be yourself. And there's nothing like just saying your truth and leaving it, and then you can move forward, right? I don't get the sense this is something you would tell people and it would ruin your life. And I think you know that too. I'm speaking generally now about secrets or about desires beyond homosexuality or whatnot for the larger group. I think you know that if you were honest about this with people from your past, that they would accept you, but it's just hard to make that, I'm getting the word proclamation, but that is the way through this. I don't think you will look foolish. I think you will look strong, and it'll give you a certain amount of freedom, right? It's kind of cute, actually, the little cat and the big cat, or the little baby lion and the adult lion, because we have the children and then growing up to this, in this case, man, but children, adolescence, adulthood. So it's reflected in the constellations. Moving forward, next we have Virgo. Beautiful Virgo. Your constellation is Coma, Bernices. Translates to Bernices. I don't know why I'm saying Bernices. Bernice's hair. The constellation is literally a lock of hair that's closest to Virgo, the constellation of Virgo. And this is the only constellation named after a real person, who was the Queen of Egypt and Libya, 222 to 258 BC. Active in government and worshipped as a goddess as well, and she cut off a lock of her hair as a token of love. So I'm now going to get some guidance for Virgo that may or may not have to do with that story. Helping and being helped. Allowing yourself to be helped, which requires being emotionally honest, or at the very least, practically honest with tasks you need help with. Helping and letting yourself be helped will make you able to be accepted in this place. People aren't going to get to know you just from how useful and helpful you are to them. They're going to bond with you based on you asking for assistance and being willing to receive assistance from them. I feel this heavily in a workplace situation, but it could be in your partnership, your main relationship as well. It's very important to not try to be what I call a martyr. I know that martyr has a specific religious definition, but what I mean by that is people who always try to do more and be indispensable to others, but never let others help them. And then they have this air of superiority, or this air of like, I work harder than everybody else, or I'm more self-sufficient than everybody else. This is a time where that's not going to help you. You won't feel like you belong or like you have confidence in this role just by being indispensable or being the best. I think you'll find that a very fruitless task emotionally. You won't feel fulfilled in this dynamic if you only help or only do things for others. I don't want to repeat myself again, so you get it. It takes some vulnerability, I suppose, to ask for help. But it allows people to know where you are and what you need, and allows them to feel successful themselves. Or being honest about what you don't like and what you want to stop, or what's making your life harder. The next constellation is Libra. And the closest constellation to Libra is Lupus, the wolf. He's in the sky depicted as being hunted by the centaur, half man, half horse, mythical creature. The centaur is depicted by the constellation Centaurus. So being hunted, a wolf being hunted for Libra. I'm getting the sense that's a mental health reference. But let's see. Any guidance for Libra? Libra and Lupus, the wolf. One more for Libra. It's wonderful to sit where I'm sitting to do these, I gotta say. Balancing out and healing through, alternating between sharing and withholding. Similar, or moving and staying still. Being active and being inert. The flowing of these two states will be healing. Off the bat, of course, it reminded me of, I believe it was for Taurus and Gemini, about being selective who you share with. But now I feel it's more of a flowing back and forth. It's not a stop and go. It's not a saving a story. It's more than just talking. It's balancing the passive and active states as easily as pouring liquid from one cup to another. So, Libra, you're good at this. We're good at this. Maybe not lately. But I was going to say we are the scales. Good at balancing. To realize that doing both, continuing to do both, is going to heal you. That there might have been a phase that was best to be a hermit. There might have been a phase that was best to just be a workaholic. Now what's best is to consciously do both. Consciously fit both into your day. I am getting the sense it's a day-by-day thing where you do both every day, a little bit of both types of things every day because of the sunset in the distance here. So it's a daily thing. We also have countryside in the background of the Eight of Wands, and we have a cityscape in the background of the Four of Discs, and this kind of path across a mountain range between them, as though you're kind of walking between them. So city and country experiences, nature and man-made experiences, and talking and withholding, being active, being inactive, continuing pouring back and forth, just not keeping it on one side for too long. This speaks a lot to me right now, Libra Sun here, because I do feel rejuvenated going back to the city. And then there are aspects of the country, of a smaller town, that benefits me as well. But it's the alternating that's gonna really do the trick. Next we have Scorpio. Constellation closest to Scorpio is called Ophiuchus. Is a man holding a snake. The snake is a separate constellation called Serpens. So Ophiuchus symbolizes the Greek god of medicine, who in Greek mythology mastered medicine that could resurrect the dead. Messages for Scorpio and the constellation Ophiuchus. The serpent bearer. I don't want to take too many from here. Let me take a look. We have a bunch of energies about obsession with the water signs mainly so far. This is referencing putting your eggs in a basket, all with this person, whether it's a lover, a partner, a business partner, potentially a close friendship, or what you think is close. Really investing in this partnership is not a good idea. There are things that you don't know about this person, or there are secrets that you are keeping from them. Or generally, if you really were honest, this partnership doesn't make you feel good anymore. There's some pessimism at the very least, and doubt and confusion around the relationship. And I think there's dishonesty on both sides at this point. Fixating on the potential of this partnership is not the right thing to do. It's idealizing it. I see putting commitment or effort in the beginning stages to this as being illogical. So rethink your commitment, rethink investing in this. Wait it out. Wait till the daylight shines a light on this before you put any more funds or money or commitment into this. That I'm getting the message that includes moving in together. That includes signing another lease with them. Just wait. Even 2 to 2.5 more weeks and see what comes out of the woodwork. Resurrect the dead. Maybe it could be an older relationship that you're trying to revive, and it's just not, doesn't make sense to resurrect the dead right now, even though you can. Then we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius's closest constellation is called Corona Astralis. Which translates to the Southern Crown. And referring to a laurel wreath or crown of myrtle leaves at the time of the ancient Greeks, which was a symbol of victory or triumph or power. Any messages for Sagittarius and the constellation depicting a laurel wreath crown? It's getting extremely cold in here. I might have to take a little break and heat up before moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Sagittarius. I was waiting for something with a floral wreath crown. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you. Another crown too. Tarot's real, guys. Don't know if you know. Okay. Doot. That's a doot sound effect. Back and forth about if what's right or if committing to this project will actually benefit you, will make you look good, will bring up your status, will make you feel like you won, and will give you a fresh start. You can't seem to decide if what you've been working on is actually as good of an opportunity as you thought. And I'm getting something about legally if it benefits you. I don't know if that's a certification that you thought it was going to give you, or you're now realizing you get that certification, but you're not sure if it benefits you, if it actually gives you a new title to start with. For some of you, I am getting the sense this is referring to a marriage or common law, legally common law relationship. If both the Fool can be also not thinking clearly, also kind of being naive, and then we have being indecisive and feeling unsure, bookending, this commitment and your reputation. So yeah, I mean, you're not sure if this commitment's the right thing for you. and you're also aware that you're not sure. Like, you're also aware that you might not be thinking clearly, and I'm getting the phrase that you might just be having the urge to run away, leave it all behind and like take a leap, and you also know that that might not be the wisest thing to do. Can I get a little more information for our Sagittarius friends here with their crowns? Oh. Okay, we have a new twist in the story here. Are you... Oh, I see. I gotta push you all up. The twist is about, well, for those of you that related to the marriage or the relationship scenario, a few phrases here. Feeling like you have no time alone, feeling like you have no time by yourself, feeling like you have no time to like think without thinking of both of you. Think of just you on your own and your success, your happiness. Feeling like that's being blocked. That's being blocked by someone you adore or someone that has brought a lot of good things into your world. But at the same time, it's almost, I'm sorry to say, but I am hearing too much of a good thing, maybe. Grass is always greener. You're no longer lonely, you're no longer alone, but now you can't be selfish, now you can't be alone. So, yeah, just, so that's for those people regarding committing to something and not being sure if it, like a work thing, if it's gonna end up paying off and benefiting you and giving you this fresh start kind of thing. This straight up says it's not going to. It's, for lack of a better word, a dead end. Nothing going. I don't think you can make a lot more in this role or at this company if wealth is your game, which I think it is at this point. You want to make more money. This is not going to be the one. I don't think that's a tough pill to swallow for you. I think you kind of felt that happening and you just didn't know whether to start over and take a risk to go commit to something else. So there, I'm just confirming that hunch for you. You're Sagittarius, you're going to land on your feet. You like big projects, you like new challenges. I just have to do one more thing because this is also about a sexless marriage. Oh, she thinks you're a dick. That's why. Okay, well, any other solution for this dilemma? Specifically for those of you that really related to what I just said about like the sexless marriage or her not wanting you near her, I would, honestly, I'm getting the sense, and it doesn't have to be her, like he can think you're a dick too, but more likely the other way around right now. Book, if you can afford it, a trip for them on their own. Like, let them go do something on their own out of town. Encourage them to go, or say, I can watch the kids, you go for the weekend. But they need to get the hell out of Dodge ASAP. Well, a lot of cards for you, Sagittarius. With your crowns and your hats. Your hats. You're a person of many hats. All right, I'm gonna just blast on through because nightfall is here. Capricorn, nearest constellation to Capricorn is called Microscopium. which means microscope in Latin. These cards really don't want to be shuffled like that today. Any guidance for Capricorn and Microscopium? I wasn't looking, so I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't like staring at the deck as I'm shuffling, but I really have to with these messages because we got lots of women here. Woman. 1 or 2 more cards for Capricorn. I might pause. I'm freezing cold, guys. So I'm going to have to pause in the middle of this reading. I can't make it without warming up. It's under my hand. Ooh. What's going on, Capricorn? Are you like hot and heavy? This is knowing that abundance can be yours if you pursue what you desire rather than going back and forth about it. Now, Knight of Swords is not the back and forth of 2 of Discs or 2 of Swords. It's not indecision. It's more just rushing everything, being impulsive, being excessively blunt or speaking without thinking. Now, starting with the general meaning first, disregarding this kind of relationship element. So generally, Capricorn, you know what you want, you know what you're passionate about, you intuitively know the prosperity that it could hold if you pursued it. You just have to, can I have a bit more guidance with this Knight of Swords for Capricorn, please? Worried that you'll look silly if you invest in it or if you wait, like pondering too long and getting confused. So then when you finally stop overthinking it, you don't know how to kind of get in gear without diving in. This sounds not very Capricorn-like, so I don't know why this is making you so flustered. There's something about the extremes of waiting too long versus jumping into something too impulsively. There needs to be a middle ground of thinking about it and then going for it, based on passion, based on interest, not based on trying to break through anxieties about looking foolish, not based on being confused, so then just picking something. Just try to focus. This reminds me of the other reading about just everything will become simpler when you focus on what you want most. And just calmly pursuing that and investing in it without being impulsive and without worrying about looking like an amateur or being a beginner, or that uncharacteristically you seem to want something that seems like a silly or childlike or dreamy type of situation. And I think that contrast of your typical nature and what you want now is confusing you. Now, as for those who it's a relationship element, Capricorn's thinking about a relationship. If you're a male Capricorn listening, it sounds like this woman that you want definitely is not going to make the first move, and you're going to have to initiate and do it quickly. And for female Capricorns, he's definitely interested. He's definitely still passionate. It sounds like you're being a bit too quiet about what you want to grow between you. Can I have a clarifier for female Capricorns? Should they remain quiet, or should they... What clarifier for the High Priestess for Capricorns? Called to do this again. We have some new beginning with this guy, and feeling good about it, feeling like you're finally getting what you want. So regarding relationships, it's all good. There's some success on the horizon, but regarding putting your foot too hard on the gas or too hard on the brake with this thing that you're interested in pursuing, just try to make it more of an easy flow into it, with more consistent Capricorn pressure, and you'll be happy with the outcome. Aquarius and Pisces share a nearest constellation called Pegasus. Pegasus, as you know, is the winged horse born out of the blood of Medusa. And I learned in the process of researching for this video that Pegasus is a symbol of the immortality of the soul. And this particular constellation, even though I'm not Aquarius or Pisces, speaks a lot to me, and I hope one day I will do a story time regarding this constellation. But anyway, it's interesting that these are the last signs in the zodiac and the last in this video, because Pegasus is why I'm even doing this video. Guidance for Aquarius and Pisces and the constellation Pegasus. Don't worry, baby, everything will be alright. Beautiful. So this man or father figure loves you and cares about you and is collaborating to help you and to take care of you, and sees how you are helping, and in this process you are learning to receive, similar to the Virgo reading. Your thoughts and inspirations through this process of changing, of being selfless and also learning to receive without guilt or without owing someone something, brings you closer to, I'm getting, your soul family, and also, I'm just going to say what I hear, harmony between the earth and heavens in your lifetime while you're still in this mortal form. All these new ideas, all these new gifts or abilities, new perceptions is all part of this plan, this collaborative effort above and on earth to upgrade your soul and upgrade your understanding of the meaning of life. It does not surprise me in the slightest that this is so profound. Because, as I said, this constellation of Pegasus is why you're hearing this video now. I'm just seeing if they have an image. I'm surprised they wouldn't have a diagram of Pegasus. It's literally under the card, representing the child of this person, or Aquarius or Pisces themselves. Beautiful. Couldn't ask for better. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you, and open your heart, open your mind, receive the gifts, give back. It's all evening out. I'm hearing it's all evening out. Have a good evening. See you next time.